What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new commentary video. Before this video gets started, I just want to say thank you guys for clicking on the video today, as always. And also, I just do want to mention that next week I do plan on doing a quick little Q&A. So if you would like to leave a question, feel free to drop it in the comments, or you can join our Discord, which there's a link to do that in the description as well if you are interested in asking a question or anything like that. But anyways, we are going to hop right into things. All right, so today we have a message here from Sam. What's going on, Hunter? I am currently a graphic designer. Whoa, that's what I study too. That's crazy. Anyway, I am currently a graphic designer that is working their first job. Recently, I found myself being put on projects that I feel below. Specifically, I am constantly being put on email duty and doing things around the office that feels like my talents are being put to waste. What should I do? So this is actually a really good question, and I'll tell you why. Typically when people work or they're in school or whatever it may be, they get put in boxes. People like to put people in boxes. And it's not because they do it because they want to. It's more that people, especially men and especially older men, don't realize that they have predisposed judgments about people. A lot of people are guilty of this. You're probably guilty of it. I'm probably guilty of it myself. I know that I'm guilty of it. And the thing is that they typically are going to put you in those boxes and they're not going to let you break free. And I'm going to talk about one instance in particular where I broke out of a box. So it was junior year of high school, and this is like where I was really getting into journalism and stuff, and I took my school news class. And I took it, and I already kind of knew a lot of the basics. Like, I was already making videos at that point. I already kind of knew the basics of broadcasting. And I kept being put on editing duty. And I like editing, but it really kind of felt like my talents were being wasted. I really felt like my opinions weren't being valued. What it really felt like was that I was just being put on side projects and being put to the wayside. And here's what I did. So after like probably a week or so of this, I kind of was getting fed up. I was like, okay, I want it. Like, I was making it clear, I want to be put on bigger projects. I want to be put on like more hard-hitting stories. I want to be like, I want to be in the front lines. It still wasn't being done. So one day we had this segment known as Hot News, and Hot News was basically a segment where you just kind of put together, trending news stories or whatever. And, that was it. And I decided I was going to take it upon myself to write my own, and I was going to record it. No matter if he told me no, I was still going to do it, and it was going to air that day. And that is exactly what I did. So what I did is that I wrote this up and I put my all into it. It was a really good thing. And I just got up there in front of the green screen and I fucking did it. And like, I didn't ask for permission. I just did it. And I knew that I was going to do good on it. And I did so well on it that everybody clapped. Everybody's like, holy shit, that was like really, really good. Like, that was like amazing. So that's how I broke free in that situation. And from that moment on, I wasn't a fucking editor. On that point on, what I did is that I was putting together my own packages, essentially. The whole year, I was putting together packages. I was not just, here's what's going on with the sports teams today. No, I did a lot of cool shit throughout the year. And I wouldn't have been able to do it if I wouldn't have decided on my own volition that I'm going to step out of the box and I'm going to prove everybody wrong that I don't belong in a box. And I think that you need to do that at work as well. I kind of did the same thing too when I was studying graphic design, is that I kind of also broke out of the box. And here's what I would really recommend you do to break out of that box when it comes to graphic design. I'm assuming that how yours is set up here. So this is going to get a little inside baseball for a second. I'm assuming that you're probably got a production team and you probably keep being put on the sort of like the office team. Just step into the role of the production team for one day. And just like for one project, just prove them wrong. Just step into the project for just a day and show them what value you bring to the team. That's honestly what I would do, is just no matter what they fucking tell you, just do it. Don't ask your boss for permission. That's the important thing here, is that you don't want to ask for permission. I sort of live by the philosophy of it's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission sometimes. And, this is one of the cases where I think that you need to prove your boss wrong. So that's what I would do. Just straight up work on a project, no matter what they fucking tell you, just do it. Just do it. And still do your normal work. I want to make that clear. Don't just abandon your work, but do your normal work and then work on something on the side and prove them that you are worth a value on the team. And since this is a job, that if you still feel like even after this and you're still not being put on bigger projects, fucking quit. Find a new job. Like, if you truly feel that you are valuable and that you can add a big value to the team in the graphic design space, then do it. quit the job and find a new one if it doesn't work out. And the thing is in my experience, it usually works out if you can break out of your box. I've done that at my current job already. I don't want to get into too many specifics because I like to keep that aspect of my life a little private. You know, I at first was just the director of programming, and I decided, no, I want to be a part of programming too. So I started working on infomercials. I started working on PSAs and stuff like that. So just don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. That's something that a lot of people do, is that they get told no and then they think that means, oh, I'm always going to be told no. Sometimes you just need to prove it to your boss or to a teacher or whoever that you are worth it and that you just need to be given the opportunity. So that's really what I would recommend doing is just don't be afraid to put in a little extra work and do that big thing and show your boss that you truly do deserve this opportunity to be on the main production team. You know, I think that a lot of people have this thing where if they get told no, that means no forever. And they kind of like beat themselves up over the term no. And I think that that's a dangerous thing in general. But the truth is that you need to learn that just because you're told no once doesn't mean that you're always going to be told no. And that you need to be able to prove there's a reason why you think that you deserve to be on the team, or you deserve to get this promotion, or you deserve to work on higher levels. And the trick here is recognizing, is there a reason why you're being put in this role? I've experienced it where sometimes they just want you to improve a little bit. It's not that you're bad, but you just need a little bit of time to find your passion. And I've told this to people too, you know, where they aren't being given responsibilities. I'm like, okay, it is week one. They're feeling you out a little bit, and you're going to be slowly put into responsibilities. Don't be mad because you're not given responsibilities on day one. People aren't always going to do that for you. And I don't think that if you're automatically being put to the side on day one means that you're always going to be put aside by that boss. No, what I mean is that every once in a while, you need to be felt out at work. And you're just going to learn and slowly become better at that field, and you're going to move up. I don't know, the big one for me was like my first job at Subway. I wasn't put in the front line right away. I was first put in the back because we had 2 Subway stations and that we had a drive-through. And first I was working on stuff in the drive-through and working on catering orders, and you work your way up. That is how it's always worked. You know, just realize that if you know that you're good and maybe like you did really good in graphic design school and stuff, then yeah, you know, step out of your comfort zone. I still think you should try, you know, just help with the production one day. Prove to your boss that you do know what you're doing and that you don't need to just write emails all day. Because I know how that is in graphics. When I was in graphics, what I did is that I was constantly just kind of being pushed aside and like I was just being kind of put on the email team. But what I did one day, so how it worked when I was studying graphics is that we had a production lead and then we also had a project manager. I knew that I could be a good project manager. So what I did is that normally people would step up to be product manager. But what I did is that I just straight up was like, I'm doing it. Like I just assumed the role. Like I just was like, all right, you know, like here's what we're working on for the week. This is what this group is working on. This is what you're working on. Like I assigned it to people. And like my professor immediately realized that and was like, okay, like this is like what you're designed to do. And it's funny too, because I still have contacts with this person. And you know, they tell me a lot, like, you know, you're kind of destined in that role. And I was like, you know, if I didn't hate graphic design, I would have done it. But yeah, I haven't really talked about that much, I guess, in my life. But yeah, no, for 2 years, I did study graphic design in high school. I had this really cool program in high school where you could study a trade program for half of the day. And I did graphic design. And that's sort of where the love for this sort of comes from a little bit. Because I learned a lot of like Photoshop and like I got certified in Photoshop and Illustrator while I was there. So it kind of helped me learn Photoshop and stuff like that. But, it's kind of weird. I know that I'm kind of getting off topic here, but it's kind of weird. If it wasn't for graphic design, videos wouldn't be as high quality as they are. That's where I learned to use Premiere Pro because we had access to Adobe. And so I started to learn Adobe there. And then I just practice those skills over the summer. I worked on it for 2 years straight. And it was like, okay, well, I'm going to start editing full time in Premiere and I'm going to start making thumbnails in Photoshop. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's really just all what I wanted to talk today. I don't want to ramble too long and keep you guys too long. But anyways, as I did mention at the start of the video, I am doing a Q&A. So if you would like to leave your comments, feel free. If you want to message me, also feel free, or join the Discord and send them there. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that I catch you in the next one. Peace.
I should have chose someone that matters, no bitches. I'm wishing I listened. I could have saved my heart from the stitches. We're kissing, I listen. You're telling me your favorite position when really all I want to hear is that you're loyal and driven. We're living in a world where girls are thinking diamonds are love. We're mining